KCAA Loma Linda, 1050 AM, 106.5 FM, and now 102.3 FM.
Attention business owners, you and your customers are listening to this commercial right now. Face it, every business needs customers, even yours. The Sports Circus is a primetime nationally syndicated program that's carried on ABC, NBC, CNBC, and Westwood One News affiliates, plus CBS, Fox, and NBC sports affiliates across North America with coverage from Hawaii to New York. Also, the Sports Circus is available to the 180 million subscribers on iHeartRadio, and the Sports Circus gets about 4 million website visitors per month, which could click through your website and bring sales. The Sports Circus provides great content featuring celebrity guests from sports and entertainment to our audience every weekday, which your company could greatly benefit from by increasing your visibility, foot traffic, eyeballs to your website, and calls from potential customers. Call us right now at 702-799-9935. Again, 702-799-9935, or email us at info@thesportscircus.com. That's info@thesportscircus.com. Drive your sales today by advertising with the Sports Circus.
Do you have any questions about legal issues? Have you ever been stopped by a police officer and issued a ticket that you're scared to deal with? Have you ever been in trouble with the law and don't know what to do? Do you have a will or power of attorney question? Is your home being foreclosed upon and you don't know where to turn? Maybe you were given a contract that you don't understand. For freedom and a worry-free solution, call for Legal Shield today at 213-245-1305. It's that simple. You will have access to high-quality law firms that will fight for you for less than $1 a day. Peace of mind is just a call away. That's for Legal Shield. Call 213-245-1305 or visit us at nocourt.us. It's justice for all and not justice for some. So, you want to be in show business. Do people tell you that you're really funny, you have a great personality, and you should have your own talk show? Many of us have been told that, but we don't know how to get started. It's easier than you think. Let the pros at Cali Vegas give you a free talent evaluation. Call 949-445-1119 and learn how quickly you can create, produce, and host your very own talk show. Imagine not having to sit in traffic every day, commuting back and forth to the same old boring job. Get started in television or radio today with your free talent evaluation from Cali Vegas. Call 949-445-1119 or visit them online at calivegas.com. Make your dream come true today and create your new career and learn how to become a television or radio star with the help of Cali Vegas. 949-445-1119. Call now. Are you a small business owner or pursuing the dream of starting your own company? Do you know where to start or how to grow that existing business? The American Business Trust Company has the answers you need. The American Business Trust Company can help you with startup capital, business strategy, sales and marketing, and establishing your company with a physical location or on the internet. You decide. You bring the idea, the American Business Trust Company can help with the rest. For a free evaluation, you may visit them online at abtrustco.com. That's ABTRUSTCO.com or call them at 657-600-1876. That's the American Business Trust Company, 657-600-1876. Call them today. They can help your business right away. Do you have any questions about legal issues? Have you ever been stopped by a police officer and issued a ticket that you're scared to deal with? Have you ever been in trouble with the law and don't know what to do? Do you have a will or power of attorney question? Is your home being foreclosed upon and you don't know where to turn? Maybe you were given a contract that you don't understand. For freedom and a worry-free solution, call for Legal Shield today at 213-245-1305. It's that simple. You will have access to high-quality law firms that will fight for you for less than $1 a day. Peace of mind is just a call away. That's for Legal Shield. Call 213-245-1305 or visit us at nocourt.us. It's justice for all and not justice for some. So, you want to be in show business. Do people tell you that you're really funny, you have a great personality, and you should have your own talk show? Many of us have been told that, but we don't know how to get started. It's easier than you think. Let the pros at Cali Vegas give you a free talent evaluation. Call 949-445-1119 and learn how quickly you can create, produce, and host your very own talk show. Imagine not having to sit in traffic every day, commuting back and forth to the same old boring job. Get started in television or radio today with your free talent evaluation from Cali Vegas. Call 949-445-1119 or visit them online at calivegas.com. Make your dream come true today and create your new career and learn how to become a television or radio star with the help of Cali Vegas. 949-445-1119. Call now.
Are you a small business owner or pursuing the dream of starting your own company? Do you know where to start or how to grow that existing business? The American Business Trust Company has the answers you need. The American Business Trust Company can help you start up with capital, business strategy, sales, and marketing, and establish your company with a physical location or an online presence on the internet. You decide. You bring the idea. Then American Business Trust can help with the rest. For a free evaluation, visit them online at abtrustco.com. That's abtrustco.com. Or call them at 657-600-1876. That's American Business Trust Company, 657-600-1876. Call them today. They'll help your business right away. That's American Business Trust Company. Online at abtrustco.com. American Business Trust Company.
Welcome to the Sports Circus. I'm your Ringmaster Sal. Today's show is brought to you by Place Your Bet. If you like to bet on sports games, the NFL, the NBA, Major League Baseball, and the National Hockey League, even college football, and you're looking for a real bettor's edge on the casino, go to placeyourbet.vegas and check them out. They make their predictions based on money movement and not all the rumors and crap that all the casino bettors actually hear. They're the guys that the casino don't want you to know about. Call Place Your Bet right now. 702-799-9935. 702-799-9935. Call them right now or visit them at placeyourbet.vegas. That's placeyourbet.vegas. They're 163-27 against the Vegas line, the official Vegas line. That's unbelievable. Call Place Your Bet right now, 702-799-9935, or visit them online at placeyourbet.vegas. Get winners and cash tickets today with Place Your Bet. And tell them the Sports Circus sent you. Another big round of applause. And a big welcome to everybody listening in on iHeartRadio, Spotify, Amp TV, 702 KHMP Television right here in Las Vegas, and our CBS, NBC, and Fox Sports affiliates from coast to coast. Mike, what's cracking, buddy?
Hey, man. How's it going?
You know, that my introductions are getting longer and longer. This is crazy.
Hey, if I learn anything from you, it's always plug, no matter what.
Plug. You have to plug everybody. And that goes for everybody watching this on television. Listen, folks, without those commercials, we don't have a job, right?
That's
so a
right.
big round of applause for those guys. They give the super applause. Okay, but you know what? I'm going to cut that down. You know who gets the super boo? There it is. Nike's controversial Colin Kaepernick ad won an Emmy for Best Commercial? Oh, come on. You've got to be kidding me. Oh, mercy. According to Huffington Post, the controversial Nike commercial featuring former, and I say former, long gone quarterback Colin Kaepernick won a Creative Arts Emmy for Best Commercial just yesterday. Oh, shut the hell up. Come on, man. Now, the ad, which infuriated our president, pays homage to those who, quote, dream crazy. In an extension of the brand's message to, of course, just do it. Nike, you owe me money for that. Now, it also features tennis crybaby Serena Williams. I never cheated in my whole life. Remember her? Remember that one?
Yeah, I remember her, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, mercy. It also features LeBrick and a bunch of other guys and ladies and whatever that overcame serious challenges. What challenges did the Williams sisters overcome? What challenges did LeBrick overcome? What challenges did Colin Kaepernick overcome? Are you kidding me? Please, somebody chime in on this one. Folks, I'm going to open up the phone lines right now. 702-799-9935. 702-799-9935. 702. Well, actually, I'm giving you the place your bet number. What the hell's the matter with me?
Well, they can place their bet and then give us a call.
They can place your bet and then call. Call 844-305-7800. 844-305-7800. If you want to chime in on this, 844-305-7800. All right, and you want to chime in on this one, you got a few minutes to do that because we have a special guest coming up at the break in just a few minutes. You know who that is?
Who's that?
Oh.
Special guest.
Oh, it's a special guest. It's the drummer.
Surprise me. Oh, okay.
It's the drummer from Ted Nugent.
Oh, okay.
That's what we do here on the circus. We'll go from controversial, bogus awards to holy crap, this dude's bringing down the house.
Oh, I can't wait.
Tell you what, man, the drummer we had on last week from Pink, I went to his birthday party a couple of days ago, and it was just complete lunacy. It was utter and complete lunacy.
Yeah, you were telling me, you never texted me back telling me how the party was, but
Why would I tell you?
Well, I said, let me know how the party goes. You go, oh, for sure.
Well, actually, I brought the grandson of Curly Howard from the Three Stooges.
Right. That show was awesome, too.
Oh, my God. I mean, that
was
just
awesome.
I showed up. I had the best gift. I showed up with a family member from the Three Stooges. He looks like him. He sounds like him. I mean, his real name is Brad. But point is, that was what I brought to the party. I brought chaos to the party. Because why? That's what the Big Top does.
That's right.
If you live under the Big Top of the Sports Circus, that's what we bring. And it's every day. I mean, folks, whether it's sports or film or music or politics. I mean, I had a presidential candidate on the show for the blue team, just because I needed something to laugh about, it was kind of humorous. But no, he's a great guy, and he's a good friend of mine.
But you guys had a good time, right?
Yeah, man, it was a great time. So the party was fun. The people were fun. The spot was cool. There's probably about maybe 70 or 80 people there. And you know what? Nobody was talking about any controversial Emmy Awards that they won. You know why? Because they already blew that scene up.
Yeah, when I saw the commercial, initially I'm waiting for him to, speak his mind. But instead, he's showing people, in the commercial with real disabilities, people without limbs, people that are, going through some real issues, when his only issue was, the whole
am I going to play for this college or am I going to play for that college? Because he wasn't. Look, man, if he was one of those guys that, really grew up in the rough part of town and this and that, I mean, it would have been put out there. But he wasn't that guy from everything that they've shown us, right?
Exactly.
He come from a good family, and it was if I'm not mistaken, it was a split family, an African-American parent and then another one. I don't know. But all I know is ultimately this guy, he didn't have these big struggles that everyone, whatever. So he's taking a knee and all this crap. Look, I get it. Yeah, man, I get it. But look, taking a knee set back the National Football League years. Taking a knee instead of actually doing the right thing for, really, if you really want to do something right for the country, that's kind of what you do. Is you rally together. You don't divide. See, his opinion was, or so it looked like anyway, it seemed that he wanted to divide and try to conquer. And unfortunately, it seemed like that blew up in his face. But then he got paid off some mad amount of money. I believe it was $100 million on top of it. And then there was the slush money that went to the special fund from the National Football League that was like $87 million.
Oh, I remember that
Anquan Bolden conveniently retired.
That's right.
Just so he could watch over the organization and get paid millions of dollars to do what? To be an administrator? Really? Is that how that works?
It's incredible, man.
How about the slush money? I think they paid Colin Kaepernick $100 million just to shut the hell up. Well, guess what? As soon as he burns through that, I'm in more pain. I need more money. More work needs to be done. Shut up! Come on, man. Back here in a few minutes. Jason Hartless, Ted Nugent, and drumming fame. Back in a few minutes. Don't go anywhere, folks.
In the Know. I'm Rich Rosario. Generation Z believes bullying is the biggest issue of their time, according to new data. A survey of American youth ages 6 to 17, commissioned by the Boy Scouts of America, found that bullying ranked as a top concern for young people on a community, national, and global level. That's why the Boy Scouts of America has been actively working to equip kids with the tools they need to counteract bullying. All Scouts participate in anti-bullying training and learn to live by the Scout Law, a foundational element of Scouting with 12 guiding characteristics that include being helpful, trustworthy, and kind. And it's having real impact. A 2015 study by Tufts University found that children involved in Cub Scouts were significantly more kind and helpful than non-Scouts. Scouting provides the nation's foremost youth program of character development and values-based leadership training, which helps young people to be prepared for life. To learn more about Scouting, visit scouting.org.
Attention business owners, you and your customers are listening to this commercial right now. Face it, every business needs customers, even yours. The Sports Circus is a primetime nationally syndicated program that's carried on ABC, NBC, CNBC, and Westwood One News affiliates, plus CBS, Fox, and NBC sports affiliates across North America, with coverage from Hawaii to New York. Also, the Sports Circus is available to the 180 million subscribers on iHeartRadio, and the Sports Circus gets about 4 million website visitors per month, which could click through your website and bring sales. The Sports Circus provides great content featuring celebrity guests from sports and entertainment to our audience every weekday, which your company could greatly benefit from by increasing your visibility, foot traffic, eyeballs to your website, and calls from potential customers. Call us right now at 702-799-9935. Again, 702-799-9935. Or email us at info@thesportscircus.com. That's info@thesportscircus.com. Drive your sales today by advertising with the Sports Circus.
Here is today's top automotive tech story. I'm Nick Miles. Nissan has developed a golf ball that will help you make a putt with your eyes closed. Nissan released a video showing a toddler tapping the ball with his club and making a hole-in-one. The tech is part of the ProPilot Drive Assist system, debuting in the Skyline this month. The system uses cameras to detect the position of the ball and cup, calculates the route, and adjusts its trajectory with an internal electric motor. For more automotive tech news, go to testmiles.com.
You are now listening to the powerful frequency of driving a Toyota Tacoma, RAV4, and 4Runner. This experiment confirms power runs in the family. Toyota. Let's go places. Visit toyota.com/testmiles for details.
You're listening to Global American Broadcasting, the Gab Radio Network. For more info on our programs and services, including technical operations and syndication, please visit
Welcome back to the Sports Circus. I'm your Ringmaster Sal. This segment is brought to you by Legal Shield, providing legal protection and peace of mind for less than $1 a day. Legal Shield can help with traffic tickets, texting and driving, DUIs, court appearances, estate planning, even contracts given to you that you don't understand, and maybe even if a drummer threw a couple of sticks out in the crowd, poked you in the eye, and you lost an eye, God forbid, and you need a lawyer, call Legal Shield. 213-245-1305. Again, 213-245-1305. Call them right now or visit them online at nocourt.us and tell them the circus sent you. And a big welcome back to everybody listening in on iHeartRadio, Spotify, and our CBS, NBC, and Fox Sports affiliates from coast to coast, and those watching us on AMP TV and KHMP Television right here in Las Vegas. We have a very special guest. We're going to go ahead and let him introduce himself.
Hey, guys, it's Jason Hartless. Really pleasure to be on.
All right. Tell everybody about yourself, Jason.
Yeah, well, I'm been a long-time drummer for rock legend Ted Nugent, and we just wrapped up a phenomenal coast-to-coast U.S. tour, and, happy to be home.
Nice. So what is it like to be out there just rocking out, and I mean, the guy's tearing it up, and you're just back there kind of drinking the Kool-Aid, doing your thing, and people are watching you on drum solos, and I've been to, 200 concerts myself, and everybody kind of waits in the audience. And I know you've been a crowd member, right? You've been an audience member, and a lot of people either wait for what? The drum solos or the guitar solos, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, it's crazy because Ted's 71 years old coming December, and you'd never know it, and because our shows are really hour and a half of pure insane loudness of blasting guitars and big drums, and just kind of all in your face for an hour and a half straight.
Excellent. Oh, that's great stuff. And the people listening, look, these are just like you and myself and our audience. It doesn't matter. Look, we're broadcasting literally from Honolulu all the way to Boston and a bunch of points in between. This is crazy. And here in Las Vegas, where I am, of course, the entertainment capital of the world, it used to be a place where you would have entertainers come when they're on the last leg of their career, and we'd kind of like get the, hate to say the phrase, but you kind of get the sloppy seconds. You know what I mean? But now you're getting prime acts in here in Vegas, and they're taking up residencies. I mean, let's face it, we have great entertainment now. Vegas, for the longest time, had good entertainment that was kind of on the back burner or on the way down. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely. I've been coming to Las Vegas since I was about 14 years old, and I'm 24 now. So the 10 years that I've been there many times, it's just such a different atmosphere. And I'm a massive hockey fan. So what the Vegas Golden Knights have brought to that town is absolutely insane.
I'm a season ticket holder. I had, in fact, just about 4 days ago, I had the president of the Vegas Golden Knights, George McPhee, on the show. And I'll tell you what, George, he couldn't really say too much that was leaning one way or another, because, when you're in the middle of it, you really got to watch what you're saying. You've got to watch who you're talking to. You know the story. Come on, when you're out touring, it's Absolutely. The same thing, right? And how many people stop you, and then they ask you questions you just can't answer?
Well, yeah, it's one of those things. It's it's a business, so you got to conduct yourself a certain way and react a certain way to certain things, and especially in interviews. And obviously, it's kind of funny because in Detroit, where I'm from, I've become friends with some of the Detroit Red Wings, and it's because really what we do is very similar, being that we're always in the public face and performing. Right. In terms in front of crowds, so there's a certain way you got to handle yourself and conduct, and it's just a part of the gig.
Ever been to a Hawks Wings game?
Oh, 1,000 times. my company's we've been suite holders at the Wings Arena for many years, and things like that. So I'm going to the first preseason game tomorrow, so I'm always there when I'm home.
Oh, that's great. That's great. Well, I'll tell you what, if you want to do a ticket swap, I've got lower level seats here in Vegas for the Vegas Golden Knights. And yes, and I do have the game against Detroit. I did pick those.
Fantastic.
I'm in the tickets with a few other guys.
My dad and I flew out to the first ever Wings and Knights game. What is it? Hell, got to be 3 years ago now.
Right,
and I think it was their second home game, and
they won. The Wings won that game.
The Wings won, and that was Vegas's first ever loss. So
yeah, that was when
great time to
what's his face ran into Fleury. Who the heck was it on your club that ran into Fleury and knocked him out for about, I don't know, I'm going to guess it was about a month or so. And I'm trying to remember who the heck it was. Yeah, I mean, he didn't get. Oh crap! I know it's at the tip of my tongue here, folks. By the way, we're here with Jason Hartless, drummer for Ted Nugent, and a bunch of others. So I'm trying to remember who knocked him out. He didn't get Cronwalled; it was somebody else. Because Nicholas, that's what he does. He Cronwalls everybody.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right. So yeah, I go back to the Hawks Wings games back to the '80s, and I seen a bunch of them, the '80s, '90s, 2000s. And it was nice that Scotty came over to the Hawks, when Scotty Bowman came over to the Hawks, and well, guess what? I mean, the Hawks, boom, 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 got 3 cups, right? And his kid, when his kid took over and really started running the show, the Hawks haven't won since. When Scotty said, "I'm going to go relax for a while, kid. Here, I just gave you 3 cups. That ought to buy you another 5 years for a job as a general manager." I think that's what happened over there.
It's really interesting, to see how that whole thing's unfolded. As and it's kind of funny because even though that Hawks Wings hatred is still very strong in town, I think Penguins and Wings have definitely in the last 10 years become more of the heated rivalry. And every single time Sidney Crosby's on the ice in Detroit, the entire place boos whenever he gets the puck.
Well, I mean, come on, you know why, don't you? You know
why
they
of course.
boo him for real.
Those back-to-back final years in 2008 and 2009 were just some of the best hockey I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah, but there's a little bit more to the Sid Crosby crap. You know what it is?
What's that?
He's the biggest damn crybaby in the league.
Absolutely.
Oh my God, that guy! You know what's funny? So one of my buddies is Paul Dvorsky, and if you're a hockey guy, you know who Paul is. I have to leave the crying sign on while we're talking about Sid. So Paul's the senior referee, and he does the goaltender interference calls in the War Room in Toronto. And so the first time I brought Paul on the show, and I said, "All right, Paul, so what's the deal with that guy that plays for the Pens?" He goes, "Oh, I know who you're talking about, or better yet, I know who you're talking about, right?" And that was, of course, Sid Crosby. He goes, "Oh, Mr. Crosby, right?" He said, everybody else, we call them by their first names, and everybody else is like, okay, why do you have to call him Mr. Crosby? And they actually do it for real. Isn't that crazy? Because that's what he demands to be called.
Jeez.
That's when you know your head is a little bit too big, mister. God. So, yeah, that's the Sid Crosby that you and I both know. And the irony of that is, so here the Wings beat the Pens. And then the Pens beat the Wings, right? And what's the common denominator in all of this? And then the next year, that same guy, it's Marian Hossa. Marian Hossa goes from the Pens, loses, to the Wings, loses, to the Hawks, and wins the Cup. Can you imagine if he would have lost the Cup in 3 consecutive years on 3 different teams?
Absolutely insane.
That would have been unbelievably bad. But, good for your club of having Yzerman, back in the organization. And I think he's going to do a lot of good for your club. And I will give you a very rare applause for Detroit, because I'm from Chicago. There you go. I have the chant that they play at the United Center. That's normally what I play, but I won't do that here. And, all respect.
Well, it's funny because, every single Hawks game before they drop the puck, they play Stranglehold, which I think is really funny considering, Ted's a Detroit guy.
Yeah.
And they're pushing a Detroit artist just as they're dropping the puck in Chicago.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a little bit odd. It's a little odd. So here we got about a minute left here. All right, so out of all the hockey games you've been to, just take about 30 seconds and tell me about the most unusual thing that you've seen on the ice, just as a fan. I mean, look, I'm a big hockey guy too, but what's the craziest thing that you just can't figure out? How did it happen? Whether you're watching on TV or live.
Yeah. I think one of the strangest goals that happened a couple years ago, Wings against the Kings, and I think it was Nicholas Cronwall, took a slap shot from the blue line.
Yep.
And it hit the net, and then somehow bounced off, ended up in the net, and no one knew about it.
Yeah.
How they didn't call that is just crazy.
Well, Devo was on the ice for that. Paul Dvorsky was on the ice for that, and he said everybody lost it, and somehow the puck ends up in the back of the net. And I remember he brought that up to me because I asked him the same question, and he said, "Oh man, there's one goal that sticks in my head that I just can't forget," and that was the one. All right, folks, we're going to be back here with Jason Hartless, drummer for Ted Nugent, in just a few minutes. Lots more to come. Don't go anywhere.
a small business owner or pursuing the dream of starting your own company? Do you know where to start or how to grow that existing business? The American Business Trust Company has the answers you need. The American Business Trust Company can help you start up with capital, business strategy, sales, and marketing, and establish your company with a physical location or an online presence on the internet. You decide. You bring the idea. Then American Business Trust can help with the rest. For a free evaluation, visit them online at abtrustco.com. That's abtrustco.com. Or call them at 657-600-1876. That's American Business Trust Company. 657-600-1876. Call them today. They'll help your business right away. That's American Business Trust Company. Online at abtrustco.com. American Business Trust Company. Are you a small business owner or pursuing the dream of starting your own company? Do you know where to start or how to grow that existing business? The American Business Trust Company has the answers you need. The American Business Trust Company can help you start up with capital, business strategy, sales, and marketing, and establish your company with a physical location or an online presence on the internet. You decide. You bring the idea. Then American Business Trust can help with the rest. For a free evaluation, visit them online at abtrustco.com. That's abtrustco.com. Or call them at 657-600-1876. That's American Business Trust Company. 657-600-1876. Call them today. They'll help your business right away. That's American Business Trust Company. Online at abtrustco.com. American Business Trust Company.
This is Mark Dvorak, and you're getting environmentalism, gardening, green living, local food information, and sometimes even humor, sometimes musical humor on the Mike Novak Show with Peggy Malecki, right here on the Gab Radio Network.
Occasionally stressed and fatigued? Support energy and stress response with Quantum Nutrition Lab's stress support, B12, and adrenal support. Buy 2, get the third one free. Call 888-588-7578 or visit us online at qnlabs.com.
Hi, I'm Dr. Bob Marshall, PhD, host of Healthline. Tune in and hear the latest breakthrough information for you and your family.
Drum solo by Jason Hartless of Ted Nugent. Welcome back to the Sports Circus. I'm your Ringmaster Sal. This segment is brought to you by this drum solo by Jason Hartless. Folks, make sure you check him out. I believe it's jasonhartless.com. Isn't that right, Jason?
Yeah.
All right. Let's let this play for just a few more seconds here. It's almost done. Really good stuff. Folks, you got to check him out. jasonhartless.com. With the clinic, you can hire him. He'll tour with you. That's what I read anyway. All right, let's give you a big round of applause for that. That was outstanding.
Oh, thank you.
Oh, yeah. Big treat for everybody listening in on iHeartRadio, Spotify, and our CBS, NBC, and Fox Sports affiliates from coast to coast. And those watching on AMP TV as well as KHMP television right here in Las Vegas. All right, Jason, so you've done a lot of really interesting touring, and looking at who you've played with. Now, I have a little experience with one of these that you were involved with. I remember the Crüe Fest, right? And you were weren't you part of a Crüe Fest number 2? Was that right?
Yeah. I was touring with an artist called Shram, and we did the whole Crüe Fest 2 tour 10 years ago this year, actually.
That was excellent. I had seen. I went to that 3 different times, 3 different cities, but that was absolutely outstanding. I saw it in Chicago, I saw it in Las Vegas, and I believe I saw the other one. I want to say it was in St. Louis. I can't remember offhand. I don't know. I didn't have a sober moment during that time, I'll have you know. It was just a lot of fun. And, this is what happens, of course, when you go to some of these concerts. But no, it was a great tour. It was, of course, headlined by Mötley Crüe and Godsmack. And then, of course, you had the dueling drums and Godsmack. That was a lot of fun. Theory of a Dead Man was really good. And if I'm not mistaken, they opened up with Drowning Pool.
Yeah. There was about I think altogether there was 7 bands on that tour, and it was just such a blast. I was only 14 at the time, and it was my first big amphitheater tour, so it was just such an amazing experience. And it's kind of funny because that summer was the summer between my 8th grade and 9th grade year going to high school. So
that's crazy.
I kind of had a decision. Do I do marching band for the summer, or do I tour with Mötley Crüe?
Let's tour with Mötley Crüe, right? I mean, come on. I mean, seriously. I mean, how would there even be a discussion with that, right? Wow.
Exactly.
How did that work out with your parents, though? I mean, did they say, now, young man, you have to go to school and don't be dilly-dallying around? I mean, how did they handle that with you?
Well, my dad was a professional musician around the time I was born, and so he's been in the industry pretty much his entire life. So when I was underage, because I started touring around the U.S. when I was 12, and until I was about 17, my dad would go out on the road and act as tour manager with whatever band I was working with, because he had to come anyways. So might as well use him to his advantage on the road. So it worked out really great.
That's great. I mean, imagine if you had parents that were not in the music business. They had no idea what it was like. Let's just say you had mad skills, right, which you do. But imagine if you had parents that had no damn clue of what it took to be a rock star.
Well, it's kind of unfortunate, because there's so many great young talented musicians, and honestly talented kids in general. Doesn't matter what they're doing, and luckily I had parents that understood that it's not about trying to live vicariously through their kid. Let the kid do his thing. My parents never told me to practice, and they never forced it on me. And it's kind of funny, I was a pretty good kid when I was growing up, but the few times that I got in trouble, my parents would ground me from playing drums, because they knew that was more detrimental than grounding me from TV or whatever. So I'm very lucky that I had very supportive parents that kind of guided me in the right way. But it's very unfortunate, because there are a lot of parents out there that don't really know what they're doing, and they end up forcing their kids into doing whatever they have a talent in. And what ends up happening sometimes is that the kid loses interest in whatever it is, because it's not fun anymore. It turns into a job at that point.
Right. Well, that's when it's the same thing in sports. Once upon a time I played baseball, and it was the same idea. As soon as a dollar got involved in the game, it kind of took the fun out of the game. You see what I'm saying? It just takes, as far as the sport goes as a kid, I had this conversation earlier today. And look, if you're mature enough to handle it as a 12, 14-year-old, you are miles ahead of everybody else in your age group, and I would even argue that are 20 years older than you. because even people that are 35, 40 years old, they're still trying to figure out what the hell they want to do with their life. But more importantly, you knew how to handle the pressure. You already had a father that knew the rodeo, so to say. Folks, by the way, we're here with Jason Hartless, drummer for Ted Nugent. And the fact that you're going to have to get me on stage doing that, by the way. And a shameless plug. Come on, man. Talk to Ted. Anyway, but looking at what you went through and how you went through it, and look, you studied formally at Berkeley as well, right?
I actually still am.
Nice.
I'm, I think 3 semesters away from achieving my bachelor's degree in music business.
That's great.
And I understood that this gig as a touring studio drummer, it's something that doesn't always last very long. There's going to come a time where my phone will stop ringing as a player, so I got to figure out, okay, well, how can I take my years of experience and my resume and apply it to other aspects of the industry, which is why I floated towards getting a music business degree and getting involved in that side of everything, because again, I don't want to be in a position where I'm 60 years old, with no gig, having to play a corner pub just to make $50.
Right. Well, but the thing is, you got such an early start, and you were smart enough to go to school. And I have to tell you, as a 20-year academic recruiter, I get it. I talk to the 17, 18-year-old kids. They're dreamers. They're trying to do something bigger with their lives, and I think that's great. But how many people do you know of in the music business that actually take the time to go educate themselves? And the same thing is in the athletic world. How many athletes really, let's just go to the basketball world, right? Because you have these kids, the one-and-done kids, and then boom, they're basically one semester in college because they have to, and then they jump into the athletic world, and what happens? These kids retire, and they don't know how to do anything besides play basketball.
Exactly. It's a really and for musicians, what happens is a lot of times people try to go into music performance, for their instrument, and I've never really met a musician that has gotten a gig outside of classical and orchestral stuff, that has gotten a gig because they had a degree in music performance.
Right.
Every time I met someone that just does that, they've gotten a job teaching, which is fantastic. But in terms of being a touring and studio musician, it doesn't really apply too much. So trying to figure out what's the best avenue to take all your music experience and apply that to something else is very, very important.
Sure, it's important, but at the same time, you're taking the time to educate yourself. And look, all those people that are listening to us right now, they're driving home from work. Maybe they have kids that are taking music lessons, or they're in band or something like that. I love the marching band in colleges. Absolutely love it. But all those kids, remember, parents, those kids are going to want to, maybe at some point, they may or may not want to, advance their music career, right? So you have to be ready, because you never know. They could turn into Josh Hartless and play drums for Ted Nugent. You never know what's going to happen. Anything could happen. And so pay attention to those kids and pay attention to their dreams. And here in the last minute of the segment, Jason, I see that I can hire you for touring or for session work or private lessons or drum clinics, recording sessions. Tell me about that in 30 seconds real quick.
Yeah, luckily being a hired musician, I get to play with a lot of different people, and in a studio, I've in the last year I've played on a big band Christmas album, a hip hop record, funk record, jazz record, and
Nice.
Ted Nugent record. So it's being able to play everything is very important, and always being available.
That's great. That's great. Well, folks, we're going to wrap this segment up in just a moment here. We're going to bring Jason back for yet another segment, because we can. We want to hear a little bit more drumming from Ted Nugent's drummer, Jason Hartless, and make sure you check him out at jasonhartless.com as well. Back here in a few minutes on the Circus. Don't go anywhere.
In the Know. I'm Rich Rosario. Generation Z believes bullying is the biggest issue of their time, according to new data. A survey of American youth ages 6 to 17, commissioned by the Boy Scouts of America, found that bullying ranked as a top concern for young people on a community, national, and global level. That's why the Boy Scouts of America has been actively working to equip kids with the tools they need to counteract bullying. All Scouts participate in anti-bullying training and learn to live by the Scout Law, a foundational element of Scouting with 12 guiding characteristics that include being helpful, trustworthy, and kind. And it's having real impact. A 2015 study by Tufts University found that children involved in Cub Scouts were significantly more kind and helpful than non-Scouts. Scouting provides the nation's foremost youth program of character development and values-based leadership training, which helps young people to be prepared for life. To learn more about Scouting, visit scouting.org.
Attention business owners, you and your customers are listening to this commercial right now. Face it, every business needs customers, even yours. The Sports Circus is a primetime nationally syndicated program that's carried on ABC, NBC, CNBC, and Westwood One News affiliates, plus CBS, Fox, and NBC sports affiliates across North America, with coverage from Hawaii to New York. Also, the Sports Circus is available to the 180 million subscribers on iHeartRadio, and the Sports Circus gets about 4 million website visitors per month, which could click through your website and bring sales. The Sports Circus provides great content featuring celebrity guests from sports and entertainment to our audience every weekday, which your company could greatly benefit from by increasing your visibility, foot traffic, eyeballs to your website, and calls from potential customers. Call us right now at 702-799-9935. Again, 702-799-9935. Or email us at info@thesportscircus.com. That's info@thesportscircus.com. Drive your sales today by advertising with the Sports Circus.
Your vision is a precious treasure, and research shows the typical American diet falls woefully short in essential eye nutrition. Fill in the gap with Quantum Nutrition Lab's Eye Support, rich in zeaxanthin and lutein, plant DHA, a vegetarian omega-3 fatty acid, and glutathione for antioxidant support. Buy 2 bottles, get the third one free. Call 888-588-7578. That's 888-588-7578. Or visit us online at qnlabs.com. That's qnlabs.com.
Hi, I'm Dr. Bob Marshall, PhD, host of Healthline. Tune in to get your questions answered and hear the latest breakthrough information for you and your family. Our product line, Quantum Nutrition Labs, delivers what others only promise, nutrition that really works.
Welcome back to the Sports Circus. I'm your Ringmaster Sal. This segment is brought to you by Cali Vegas, helping people just like you create and host your very own radio, TV, or multimedia talk show. Cali Vegas can help you with everything you need to get out of sitting in hours of traffic like you're doing right now and host your very own talk show in your very own studio. Call Cali Vegas at 949-445-1119. That's 949-445-1119. 1119. Again, 949-445-1119, or visit them at CaliVegas.com. That's CALI Vegas.com. And tell them the circus sent you. And a big welcome back to everybody listening in on iHeartRadio, Spotify, and our CBS, NBC, and Fox Sports affiliates from coast to coast, as well as those watching on AMP TV and KHMP right here in Las Vegas, channel 18.8. Here with Jason Hartless, drummer for Ted Nugent. And I have to ask you this question, Jason. I have seen stage shows here in Las Vegas where it's really cool to have the show going on, but they have a live band. Now, I know you've seen those, right?
No, absolutely.
Okay, my question to you is, how would you like the idea of going to, I don't know, maybe pick your favorite hockey team? That would be Detroit, right? You're going to see a Wings game, but they book you to do the in-between after they blow the whistle dead, and there's Jason and the band up there blowing it up on top of the stadium. How would that be?
Well, I'm an old school hockey guy. I love at the brand new Red Wings arena, we've got a organ player.
Yes.
So it brings that old school, old time hockey, vibe back. Whereas before at the old Joe Louis Arena, it was just play music in between. But
right.
I know in Nashville, the Nashville Predators, they do have a band. I believe on the weekends that play in between periods, and I might be wrong, but I think between each play as well. But for me, and hockey's the only sport that I'm really into. I don't watch football or basketball or baseball or anything like that. But I'm an absolute purist when it comes to hockey, and super old time, old school. So I wouldn't be a big fan of that. But if someone contacted me and say, here's a big fat check, play this, I'm not going to say no.
Right. I mean, for me, I love the old organ. I mean, we had that at the old Chicago Stadium, and of course, we still have it at the United Center. But there's nothing better than that organ being played at the hockey game, because it makes you feel like you're actually at the game. You know what I mean?
Exactly, and that's the thing is, when we opened up this brand new Wings arena 3 years ago, that we didn't have that at Joe Louis Arena. It was at the old Olympia, way back. But to bring back that heritage and vibe to the brand new state of the art arena is just absolutely phenomenal.
Right. There it is. You got to have that organ playing in the background. I mean, even when you were a kid, look, I grew up in Chicago, and everyone went to the ice skating rink, right? If you weren't skating on a frozen pond or something, right? And even when you go to the rink, I mean, sure, they would play whatever rock music or whatever it is that you're listening to. But a lot of times, in the open skate, you would have that at family time, right? You'd have the organ grinder out there doing their thing. And that's that real old school kind of feeling. I love that.
Absolutely. And especially with hockey,
You've made this really easy for me because I absolutely love hockey. I don't get a chance to talk about it too much. So for me, it's hockey. I wish I could have skated. I couldn't skate to save my life. It was awful. It was embarrassing. Yeah, I'm the guy with the toes
here.
in.
I'd love to play. I'd love to play hockey, but my luck, I'd probably fall and break my wrist or something stupid.
Could you skate?
No, absolutely not.
Hey, listen, we share the same thing. Believe me, I can't skate to save my life. I never could, but I play every other sport like as if I was playing hockey as well. Just one of those things, man. I love it. So, all right. So outside of the hockey world and music, let's go back to music for a second. Now, people literally can take you on tour. They can hire you for touring. I read that on your website. That's jasonhartless.com. Tell us a little bit about that.
Well, it's really what I do. Is I'm known as a hired gun musician, and Ted, is my main bread and butter gig. But when I'm not touring with him, I'm in the studio, playing on whomever's record. I'm doing a lot of publishing material and also playing a lot of commercial jingles. And it's funny because I've gotten in my car before and turned on the radio and heard like a Chevy commercial and been like, I think that's me.
That's
and it keeps the job fresh because you're always playing something different. Different styles of music, different artists and things like that. So when I'm off the road with Nugent, I'm always touring with other people or in the studio, and it just keeps it fun.
What about foreign music? What's your favorite foreign music to drum to?
Honestly, I really don't have a preference when it comes to favorite style to play or whatever. It's just whatever gig I'm called on, I'll do.
So would you ever go to a club with your friends and maybe just kind of jump up on stage and play if nobody knew that you were in the audience, for example? Would you ever just get up there and jam with whoever was up there and just have some fun?
Oh yeah, for sure. It happens all the time. Especially when I'm down in because I split my time between Detroit and Nashville, so it doesn't happen so much in Detroit because there's not much of a music scene here too much anymore, but it happens all the time when I'm down in Nashville, and it's again it's super fun because it's you just get thrown on the spot and just becomes a jam at that point. Just musicians having a little fun.
So when you're doing that, let's just say because I just experienced this a couple days ago, and there was guys from this band and that band and this girl from this band or whatever, not to name any, but my point is they get up there, they kind of collaborate last second impromptu. It's like, oh, hey, let's play XYZ song from ABC band. And you kind of know it because you have it in your head playing guitar. I'm the world's worst guitar player, I have to tell you. I wreck everyone's music. But for me, I just want something that kind of resembles what it's supposed to sound like. God forbid I actually play a clean channel. By the way, folks, we're here with Jason Hartless, drummer for Ted Nugent. And so when they get up on stage and you listen to the conversation, because where I was, there was maybe 60, 70 people, right? And you could hear what they're talking about. But, all right, here's a quick sound check. Let's tune, maybe drop D tune, whatever. And then you just get in there and do it. Now, when you're playing somebody else's music, do you just go off of what you know, or do you have a general path or a general metronome in your head that you know that you need to kind of keep time with?
Well, when you're in a situation where you're just kind of jumping up and sitting in with a band, let's be honest, it's a little bit easier for a drummer to kind of bull crap their way through a song if they don't know it, because it's when in doubt, just hold down a beat and listen what's going on around you. It's a little harder for melodic instruments, and obviously if you can figure out what key it's in and then bull crap your way through it, but it's again, that's what always kind of keeps it fun, just kind of sitting in and just jamming off the cuff, because you never know what's going to happen. It just becomes a free for all, if we will, to jam and have a little fun. But when it comes to when touring with an artist and something like that, it's always a situation to where you just got to be on top of your game to know the music as best as possible. And honestly, you need to know the music better than the guy that wrote it. And in my case, with Ted Nugent, making sure that I know all of his songs backwards and forwards, because you never know what he's going to pull out, because a lot of times we'll be playing a show and he'll change up the set list on the spot, and there's been cases where he's called out a song on stage that we hadn't played in maybe 2 years. So always kind of be on top of your game and ready to go at all times is really key, and that really goes for pretty much everything that you should do.
I love the fact that here in the last 30 seconds, I love the fact that I can actually take you out on tour. I can hire you, and you could be my drummer if I had some crazy band out of the Sports Circus band, whoever the hell knows. Folks, make sure you check out jasonhartless.com. You can hire for touring, recording session work, private lessons, drum clinics, you name it. Great guy, super skilled guy, and I love the fact that you're a hockey fan, too. Very exciting stuff. Very exciting. Thanks for joining us today, Jason. And we're going to certainly have to bring you back.
Thank you so much.
And listen, we may give you that call. You never know. You never know.
Absolutely. It'd be fun.
All right, folks, we'll see you next time right here on The Circus, right on your favorite channel. Until then, listen to a little bit more drum solo from Jason Hartless. So long, everyone. Attention business owners, you and your customers are listening to this commercial right now. Face it, every business needs customers, even yours. The Sports Circus is a primetime nationally syndicated program that's carried on ABC, NBC, CNBC, and Westwood One News affiliates, plus CBS, Fox, and NBC Sports affiliates across North America, with coverage from Hawaii to New York. Also, the Sports Circus is available to the 180 million subscribers on iHeartRadio, and the Sports Circus gets about 4 million website visitors per month, which could click through your website and bring sales. The Sports Circus provides great content featuring celebrity guests from sports and entertainment to our audience every weekday, which your company could greatly benefit from by increasing your visibility, foot traffic, eyeballs to your website, and calls from potential customers. Call us right now at 702-799-9935. Again, 702-799-9935, or email us at info@thesportscircus.com. That's info@thesportscircus.com. Drive your sales today by advertising with the Sports Circus.
KCAA Loma Linda, 1050 AM, 106.5 FM, and now 102.3 FM.